Ezekiel chapter 20 is what we're studying today. So let's have a word of prayer. Most High Yahweh, as we go into your word, please continue to guide and direct us by your sweet spirit of perfect righteousness and truth. Guide and direct us in that truth, that we might bring you the honor, the glory, and the praise in obedience to the truth. In the name of the Messiah, Yahweh Shah, we pray. Amen. So, we just finished the lamentation of the leadership of the princes of Israel. Now, we're looking at Ezekiel chapter 20. And I had referenced a thing that had happened among our fathers while our fathers were in the land of Egypt. A thing happened among them. And I want to show you. Let's see. Okay, yeah. So first we know, let's look at Exodus chapter. Let's start, of course, where Moses meets, where the Most High meets with Moses in Exodus chapter 3. Exodus chapter 3. Exodus 3. I'm going to begin at verse 1. Exodus chapter 3, beginning at verse 1. And I'm going to read from verse 1 down to verse 9. Exodus chapter 3 from verse 1 to 9. Now Moses kept the flock of Jethro, his father-in-law, the priest of Midian. And he led the flock to the backside of the desert and came to the mountain of Yahweh, even to Oreb. And the angel of Yahweh appeared unto him in a flame of fire out of the midst of a bush. And he looked, and behold, the bush burned with fire, and the bush was not consumed. And Moses said, I will now turn aside and see this great sight, while the bush is not burnt. And when Yahweh saw that he turned aside to see, the Most High called unto him out of the midst of the bush and said, Moses, Moses. And he said, Here am I. And he said, Draw not nigh hither. Put off thy shoes from off thy feet, for the place whereon thou standest is holy ground. Moreover, he said, I am the Most High of thy father, the Most High of Abraham, the Most High of Yasha'ak, the Most High of Yaakov. And Moses hid his face, for he was afraid to look upon the Most High. And Yahweh said, I have surely seen the affliction of my people, which are in Mizraim, and have heard their cry by reason of their taskmasters, for I know their sorrows. And I am come down to deliver them out of the hand of the Mizraim, and to bring them up out of that land unto a good land and a large, unto a land flowing with milk and honey, unto the place of the Canaanites, and the Hittites, and the Amorites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites. Now therefore, behold, the cry of the children of Yasha'al is come unto me, and I have also seen the oppression wherewith the Mizraim oppressed them. So here we see, of course, Moses is just doing his business for his father-in-law, Jethro. They called it the Mount of the Most High, which is Mount Sinai, which is another word for Oreb. This is the same place where the Most High met with Moses and gave the nation the covenant, that the whole nation heard the voice of the Most High speaking the covenant and got scared and told Moses, please, you go talk to him because his voice is going to kill us. So this is the same mountain, and Moses, it's called the mountain of Yahweh because Moses met the Most High there. And he's burning in this bush, and Moses sees him, and now he explains to Moses, this whole land that you're on is set apart because I'm on this land, it's set apart. So take your shoes off, brother, and bow down. And he did. He bowed down as he's supposed to, and he explained to Moses who he was, that he is the creator, the one that Abraham was called to follow, Isaac or Yesha'ak, and Yaakov or Jacob was called to follow. And now he's going to send Moses into Mizraim to give this message to his people and to lead his people out of Mizraim unto the land, the promised land that he had promised to Abraham, Yishak, and Yaakov. So he's leading them out. The children of Yasha'al, the children of Yaakov, he's leading them out to this promised land. And he's doing it as a fulfillment of his promise to those brothers that we mentioned earlier. Okay. Now Moses goes down into the land. He tells the people the message. And notice what happens. Exodus chapter 5. Exodus chapter 5. From verse 1 down to verse 23. Exodus chapter 5 from verse 1 to verse 23. Notice what it says. We're going to read actually this chapter 5. And afterward Moses and Aaron went in and told Pharaoh, Thus saith Yahweh, Most High of Yasha'al, Let my people go, that they may hold a feast unto me in the wilderness. And Pharaoh said, Who is Yahweh, that I should obey his voice, and let Yasha'al go? I know not Yahweh, neither will I let Yasha'al go. Wait, let me stop here for a moment and just explain something. First of all, you need to see here where it says, he said, Let my people go, that they may hold a feast unto me in the wilderness. Did you catch that part? Notice he wasn't trying to hold a feast in Egypt. He wasn't trying to hold a feast in Egypt. He said, Let my people go, that they may hold a feast unto me in the wilderness. Again, you cannot keep feasts in your enemy's land. I'm just trying to point that out for y'all. I know people don't like that. But you got to keep the feast. You keep the feast in the promised land or when you're in the wilderness. But you cannot keep the feast. It's a feast. It's a celebration. What you celebrating in your enemy's land for? That's not your land. That's your enemy's land. So he said, Let my people go, that they may keep a feast unto me in the wilderness. Pharaoh, understanding who the people are, knowing they're the children of Jacob that died there in the land of Egypt at 147 years old, he knew they were his children. And he said, Who is this Yahweh? I'm not going to let Israel go. Why did he say that? When we study Ezekiel 20 today, you're going to understand why he said that. Okay. Let's continue. Chapter 5 of Exodus from verse 3. And let's continue. And they said, The Most High of the Hebrews have met with us. Let us go, we pray thee, 3 days' journey into the desert, and sacrifice unto Yahweh our Most High, lest he fall upon us with pestilence or with the sword. And the king of Egypt said unto him, Wherefore do ye, Moses and Aaron, let the people from their works? Get you unto your burdens. And Pharaoh said, Behold, the people of the land now are many, and ye make them rest from their burdens. What's going on here? He came with the message and he brought back the covenant, and they began to keep the Sabbath. They had stopped keeping the Sabbath. They had forgotten that they were Israelites. They had forgotten who they were and what they were doing there. And they started acting like they were Egyptians and started worshiping like Egyptians. I want y'all to catch this. And so when Moses came as the messenger from the Most High with the message of deliverance, that's right, they were fully assimilated into the Egyptian culture. Now, unlike what most people think, they were not in Egypt for 400 years. They were in Egypt for more like 200 years. But I can show you that from the scriptures. They were not in Egypt for 400 years. It was 400 years from the day Isaac was weaned until they left Egypt. They were not in Egypt for a year. But they were in Egypt for about 200 years. And they had gotten assimilated into the Egyptian culture. They got assimilated into the Egyptian culture. So now Moses comes and he reminds them of who they really are. He reminds them of who their fathers are, who the God of their fathers are. And he reminds them of the covenant they were supposed to keep. You see, the covenant didn't just come when they got to Sinai. That covenant was there from Adam. It was there from Adam. When the Most High says to Noah, I'm going to establish my covenant with you, it's the same covenant. It's the same 10 words. It's the same one. Okay? So now he reminds them of the covenant and of the Shabbat. And now they start to keep the Sabbath again in the land of Egypt, and the Egyptians upset. What you mean keeping the Sabbath? What you mean resting? Y'all better get to work. It's Saturday. It's time for y'all to work. So now Pharaoh's mad because the people refuse to work because Moses has been sent with the message of who their God is and who they really are, and how they not Egyptians, though they be in the Egyptian culture. Let's continue. And Pharaoh, in verse 6, Pharaoh commanded the same day the taskmaster of the people and their officers, saying, ye shall no more give the people straw to make brick, as heretofore. Let them go and gather straw for themselves. And the tale of the bricks which they did make there heretofore, ye shall lay upon them. Ye shall not diminish aught thereof, for they be idle. Therefore they cry, saying, let us go and sacrifice to our God. Let their more work be laid upon the men, that they may labor therein, and let them not regard vain words. And the taskmasters of the people went out, and the officers, and they spake to the people, saying, thus said Pharaoh, I will not give you straw. Go ye and you get straw where ye find it. Yet not aught of your work shall be diminished. So the people were scattered abroad throughout all the land of Egypt to gather stubble instead of straw. And the taskmasters hasted them, saying, fulfill your works, your daily task, as when there was straw. And the officers of the children of Yasha'al, which Pharaoh's taskmaster had set over them, were beaten and demanded, wherefore have ye not fulfilled your task in making brick both yesterday and today as heretofore? Then the officers of the children of Yasha'al came and cried unto Pharaoh, saying, wherefore dealest thou thus with thy servants? Where there is no straw given to thy servants, they say to us, make brick. And behold, thy servants are beaten, but the fault is in thine own people. But he said, ye are idle, ye are idle. Therefore ye say, let us go and do sacrifice to Yahweh. Go therefore now and work, for there shall no straw be given you, yet shall ye deliver the tale of bricks. Now let's stop right here. Stop right here. Notice what's happening here. They're used to the government providing them certain things for work. And the government said, oh, you want to sacrifice to your God? Oh, you want to rest? You want to keep the Sabbath? Well, you're going to get your own stuff. We're not going to provide it for you anymore. And yet you're going to provide the same number of work that you always do. And if you don't, you're going to be punished. Then they appeal to the government. They go to Pharaoh and they appeal to him and they say, wait, why are you doing this? This is not us. This is on you. You're supposed to give us the straw. No. Since y'all want to go do a feast to your God, do you guys want to keep the Sabbath, you go get your own straw. And you better keep bringing them bricks. Now, brothers and sisters, we're about to experience this. We are about to experience this. This is Revelation chapter 13, where it says you are not allowed to buy or sell. This is it. And why? Because you start obeying the God of your fathers. You start waking up to who you are. And believe me, the Pharaoh of modern Babylon knows who you are. They know exactly who you are. They know who you are. The only people that don't know who we are is us. Testing 1, 2. Are you hearing me? Just like he knew who they was then, they know who we are now. They know where they got us from. They know what they did with us. They know where we came from. They know we are the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And they are definitely afraid of us waking up to that fact. And if we do wake up to it, it's going to get hard for us. See, right now, it's a small movement, the movement of the Israelite nation. But it's going to get larger. And it's going to get more popular. And people are going to know it. And now there's going to be decisions made. More people are going to be asking to keep the Sabbath. It's the same thing. See, right now, the only people that's keeping the Sabbath are like Seventh-day Baptists and Seventh-day Pentecostals, Seventh-day Church of God, and of course, the Seventh-day Adventists. And the Seventh-day Adventists are the foremost. Listen to me carefully. The Seventh-day Adventists are the foremost in connecting with the government. That is why, because of the Seventh-day Adventists, if you say you're an Adventist and you want to keep the Sabbath, they got to let you off because the Adventists are tied in with the government, brothers and sisters. And if you're not an Adventist, if you start saying, I'm an Israelite, At first, there's a few of us. See, on my job, I told them that I'm an Israelite. I need to keep the Sabbath, and they have no problem. They have no problem. But the more and more of us awaken and we start saying we need to keep the Sabbath to the Most High, the more and more of us awaken and we start talking about the land, that's when it's going to get thick. Are you hearing me? Testing 1, 2, 3. That's when it's going to get thick. Okay? That's when it's going to get thick. See, right now, because the SDA church they done set them up as the leader of Sabbath keepers. And all they are is Gentiles following the Rome just like the rest of them whores. But they set it up so that if you're going to keep the Sabbath, you better be an SDA. That's why sometimes if you go to your job and you say, I'm a Sabbath keeper, they will ask you for a letter from your church. They've done that to me. Or I need a letter from your pastor. Or I need a letter from your church. Because the SDA church has an agreement with the government. Listen to me. That if they give you a SDA letter with your church name on it and your letterhead on it and it says SDA, then they'll let you off on Saturday. They'll let you off because the SDA church is in with the government. And right now, because of that, all of us like Israelites that we say, oh, we keep the Sabbath, they're used to hearing that from the Ashkenazi Jews and from the SDAs. So they don't give you no problem. But when more of us start waking up and more of us start asking or demanding even that we need to keep the Sabbath, you're going to see the same thing you're seeing right here in Exodus chapter 5. You're going to see the same thing. You're going to see the same thing. And brothers and sisters, let's see what happens next. See, praise the Most High Yah, brothers and sisters, praise the Most High Yah. Nothing new under the sun. What happened before is what's going to happen again. What happened in the beginning, what's going to happen at the end. Nothing new under the sun, right? So that's why we can look at this stuff and know what we get ready to deal with. That's why if you don't understand this stuff as an Israelite, you're not going to understand Revelation. That's why the Gentiles will never get the book of Revelation. They don't understand the Hebrew Messiah. They don't understand the high priestly ministry of the Hebrew Messiah. They don't understand the true Hebrews and their movements in the earth today. They don't understand none of that. So there's no way they're going to understand the book of Revelation because that book is written for those people. And we're seeing it right here in Exodus chapter 5. We're seeing it right here. Okay? Y'all follow me so far? Testing 1, 2, 3. Wait. Let's continue. Now, you say, well, what about Ezekiel? Listen, we're going to get to Ezekiel. This is all tied into Ezekiel. Okay, all tied in. Okay, let's continue. Exodus chapter 5. Let's start at verse, where did I finish? Let's start at verse 16 and go down to verse 23. Exodus 5, 16 to 23. Notice what it says. There is no straw given, they still begging the government now. There's no straw given unto thy servants. And they say to us, make brick. And behold, thy servants are beaten, but the fault is in thine own people. You see, they had an agreement with the government, and the government broke the agreement. What? You think because you're getting a pension and Social Security that's going to continue? You better think again. You think because they told you you can have land and you can pay off your bank and that's going to be your house? You better think again. They can change the rules anytime they want to because this is their land, brothers and sisters. This is their kingdom. And Pharaoh made an agreement with the Israelites and he changed it. And brothers and sisters, they could do that anytime they want to. See? Don't get caught up in Egypt. Don't get caught up thinking that they got to abide by the rules they set for you. No. Never been that way. Not with us. What? 1863, did we really get free? Or did they just change it and put us in chains again in chain gangs? You know what I'm saying? Look. But he said, ye are idle. Therefore ye say, let us go and do sacrifice to Yahweh. Go therefore now and work, for there shall no straw be given you, yet shall ye deliver the tale of bricks. And the officers of the children of Yasha'al did see that they were in evil case, after it was said, ye shall not minish aught of from your bricks for your daily task. And they met Moses and Aaron, who stood in the way as they came forth from Pharaoh. And they said unto them, Yahweh look upon you and judge, because ye have made our Savior to be a bore in the eyes of Pharaoh and in the eyes of his servants, to put a sword in their hand to slay us. And Moses returned unto Yahweh and said, Master, wherefore hast thou so evil entreated this people? Why is it that thou hast sent me? For since I came to Pharaoh to speak in thy name, he hath done evil to this people, neither hast thou delivered thy people at all. Look, the Most High uses this trial to separate The trial separates. Who gonna stay firm to the word? See, this is the thing, brothers and sisters. He tries us to see if we really mean business. Anybody can say, well, I'm going to be with the Most High people. I'm going to live in the kingdom. We just going to coast into the promised land. No. He want to see if you real or you a sellout. He want to see if you real. If they take away all your Babylonian goods, are you still going to stay faithful to the Most High? If they take away all your Babylonian pension, your Social Security, your SSI, they take away your money, your bank account, your house, they take all that away, say you go in the street since you want to worship your God. You still gonna stay with the Most High? We're gonna see. We're gonna see. You're gonna see, because brothers and sisters, that's what's coming. Now, he has promised us he's gonna provide for us, but we got to step out on faith first. And don't worry. He's going to show us when it's time. Don't worry. It's not now the time. He will show you, brothers and sisters. Don't believe these people that say you need to run now. We need to go to Ghana now. The time is now. It's 2019. That is a lie. It's a trap, brothers and sisters. Do not fall for it. Many people are going to lose their lives going over there to Ghana. I'm telling you right now. It's a trap. Go in the spirit. Now, I'm not saying everybody that goes to Africa is falling into a trap. Okay? Don't think that. But I'm saying is go by the Spirit of the Father. Don't let nobody be your Holy Spirit but the Holy Spirit himself. You hear what I'm saying? Don't let me or nobody else play the role of the Holy Spirit to you, brothers and sisters. Let the Father's Spirit speak to you. When it's time for you to go, he will send you just like he did with Lot. Lot was in Sodom until the last minute, and the angels came and got him and sent him out of there. Right? I mean, so brothers and sisters, he will show you he loves you. You are his people. He's not going to let you sit in the spot that's going to be bad for you. He's going to show you everything before it happens, and he's going to let you know when it's time for you to go. And he's going to let you know when and where. He's going to lead you to the place. Okay? You might be in the desert somewhere. You might be in the mountains somewhere. You might be in another country somewhere. But let him lead you and guide you by his spirit. Don't you decide, I'm going to listen to this man or this woman and I'm going to go according to what they're saying. No. Let the Spirit of the Father bear witness with your spirit as to what you should do. And then he'll bring the confirmation through a vessel. You understand? He'll bring the confirmation. He'll confirm. But you don't listen to people, and you know what I'm saying? Don't listen to people. Just listen to the Spirit of the Father. He will guide your steps. It could be that he's going to have you stay right where you are. It could be he's going to have you go somewhere, move somewhere. It could be, but he knows what he's doing. Listen to him. Listen to his word. Don't trust people, especially when they're trying to get money from you. That's a sign. Whenever they say, well, we need to raise money to go to Ghana. No. Don't listen to that. Don't, brothers and sisters. Don't listen to it. We need money for this ministry without your faithful support. Nope. Be careful. The Most High is going to use these dollars. Don't get me wrong. He's going to use these Federal Reserve notes. But he will let us know when it's time to use them and how to use them. They're going to be useless to us soon. In the time of trouble, when we're not able to buy or sell, dollars are going to be useless to us. But before they're useless to us, he's going to show us what to do with them. Believe me, he will. Okay? But don't listen to people telling you. Y'all remember 2008? In 2008, the economy was crashing in such a way that the government was telling everybody, oh, this might be it. The whole world is going to end because the whole economy is crashing. It's a worldwide depression. You guys remember that? That was about 10, 11 years ago. Remember that? And everything. The markets were crashing and great giant institutions were crashing. I remember at that time, in the Seventh-day Adventist church, there were people out here preaching, this is the end right here. Give your money to the church because we need to finish this work. We need to bring the gospel. And people were selling their 401ks. They were selling their retirement plans. They were giving their savings to the church. I remember. And this cat was saying, I need to buy a plane. I need to buy a plane to finish this work. And people was giving them the money. And I remember at the time I was still at SDA and people came to me and they said, Brother Todd, should I sell my 401k? Do you need the money? I said, do not sell your 401k. This is a falsehood. This is a false movement. Do not go for it. And the reason I knew it was a falsehood because it was led by man. You see, brothers and sisters, when man is in control, they can manufacture depression anytime they want to. This is Federal Reserve control. But when the Most High Yahweh start raining his plagues on these people, and it's coming out the sky and water's turning to blood and they can't do nothing about it, well, then you know it's on. But this was manufactured by man. So this was fake. Just like this 2019, it's fake. It's manufactured by man. Don't fall for it. Let's go now to Ezekiel chapter 20. Notice what it says, Ezekiel chapter 20. Let us begin at verse 1. Ezekiel chapter 20 from verse 1. Let's read verse 1. I'm going to read from verse 1 down to verse 4. Let's start off Ezekiel chapter 20 from verse 1 to verse 4. Notice what it says. And it came to pass in the 7th year, in the 5th month, the 10th day of the month, that certain of the elders of Yasharal came to inquire of Yahweh, and sat before me. Then came the word of Yahweh unto me, saying, Son of man, speak unto the elders of Yasharal, and say unto them, Thus saith Yahweh Most High, Are ye come to inquire of me? As I live, saith the Most High Yahweh, I will not be inquired of by you. Wait. Wilt thou judge them, son of man? Wilt thou judge them? Cause them to know the abominations of their fathers. Wait, let's stop right here. Let's stop right here, brothers and sisters. Hold on one second. I got to fan myself. Man, hold on one second. Hold on. So wait, this is powerful. This is powerful. Let me explain why this is powerful. Hold on. It was common in that time among the Israelites that when there was a prophet among them, somebody that was known to be a prophet, as Ezekiel was known to be a prophet, that the Most High spoke directly to that prophet. And they knew that. And they knew that the Most High spoke to that prophet and that he would give them words from the prophet. They knew that. So they know Ezekiel. Remember, earlier in Ezekiel, the Most High said to him that the people of Israel are going to know that there is a prophet among them. He said that. In other words, he was going to let the people know, just like when Moses and Aaron showed up out of the wilderness of Sinai and came into Egypt, and Moses said, how are they going to know that I came from you? And he said, don't worry, I'm going to show them. They're going to know. And when he came and he showed the signs and he spoke the words, they knew Moses was a prophet of the Most High. So then they started listening to Moses. Well, they knew Ezekiel, the Spirit had bore witness, this man is a prophet of the Most High. So now, when they want to hear the Most High start on something, they came to this prophet and they say, please inquire of Yahweh for us. We want to ask a certain question. Inquire of him. So the Most High immediately, now if you recall, the Most High told Ezekiel, I'm going to let your tongue cleave to the roof of your mouth. You're not going to be able to speak. And the only time I'm going to allow you to speak is when my spirit comes on you and I speak my words through you. Right? So here's Ezekiel. He's sitting wherever he's sitting, and the elders, the leadership, the religious and political leaders of the children of Yasharal, they come to inquire of the Creator through this prophet. And he speaks through his prophet, and he says this, the first thing he says, wait, I'm not going to be inquired of by you. I got nothing to say to y'all. Go and look at the abominations of your fathers. I got nothing to say to y'all. That's the first thing he says. Now, why is that? Look at the situation. They were in Babylon at this time. They were captives in Babylon. And apparently, they did not have a clear conception, or at least they weren't receiving a clear conception of why they were captives in Babylon. They weren't receiving it. Just like now, people start to think that they are Americans, or they are British, or they are Canadian, really when they're Israelites, and they have forgotten who they really are. And they've forgotten why we're in the situation we're in. You got people out here. Just heard this one woman tell me the other day about some brother talking about the only reason black people are in situations that they're in drugs and alcohol and in jails because they just dumb and they just lazy. Black person said that. See, black people that say that are what we call coons. Then what we call sellout coon. Self-hating coon. See, because they hate themselves so much that they down all their people in order to make themselves look good in the eyes of the oppressor. Okay. And see, there are those of us that believe that foolishness and think that, oh, we just lazy. All we got to do is get smart and start businesses. No, man. We are in our enemy's land. We were brought here in chains to our enemy's land, according to the word of the Creator. That's why we're here. And we need to wake up. That's why he says here, make them to know the abominations of their fathers. You want to know why you captives in Babylon? Know what your fathers did, man. Understand why you here. See, brothers and sisters, for us to get out of here, we got to know why we're here. You understand? If you want to get out of here, you got to know why you here. How you got here. What brought you here. And why. Okay? And here, praise to the Most High Creator, Yahweh, he is going to explain to our fathers what happened. Because in explaining to our fathers what happened, he's explaining to us right now what's happening. Yeah, you're right. That's right. That's exactly right. You got some fools denying that there was ever a slave trade in the first place. You see how crazy it's gotten, right? You see how crazy it's gotten. Okay? But what's going on here? And this is the thing, brothers and sisters. I will tell you right off the bat. Listen, I believe that this King James Bible was written by Hebrew Israelites prophets of the only true God. This is the only true book on planet Earth. I do not believe in the Quran. I got to tell you, I do not believe in any other book. I do not believe in any other religion. I am an Israelite of the southern kingdom of Judah, and I believe in there's only one God. Now, you don't have to believe that. You don't have to believe what I believe. That's cool. That's your business. But this is what I believe. And based on what I believe, I'm looking in this book for the truth that I'm seeking. I'm looking for the answers out of this book here. You understand? And anybody that's with me and is believing what I believe, they're going to see what I bring out this book. And they themselves going to look in the book for themselves. You understand what I'm saying? So, you don't have to believe what I believe. You could be go to Louis Farrakhan if you want to. Go to the Nation of Islam. Go over there and convert to Sunni Muslim if you want to. Go do that. Go ahead, become a Christian if you want to. Go become the SDA, Mormon, Jehovah Witness, whatever you want to do. But you understand, me, myself, in my house, I'm going to be like Joshua. I'm following this book right here. Because to me, this book right here got all the answers for me and my people from the only true God that he said he's the only one on planet Earth. He said there's no other. He said, I know not any. So I'm just following that. So here in Ezekiel chapter 20, he about to explain to us how they got in that situation and how we are in our situation. So he says, make them to know the abominations of their fathers. Now he's going to give Ezekiel a word for them. And it's for us too. Ezekiel chapter 20 from verse 5. Let's go down from verse 5 down to verse 10. Ezekiel 20 from verse 5 to verse 10. Watch this very closely, brothers and sisters. Please pay very close attention to these verses here. Very close attention. Ezekiel chapter 20 from 5 to 10. Notice what it says. Actually, before you post it, Sister Josie, from 5 to 8 Isha. Let's go from 5 to 8 Isha. Not from 5 to 10. Let's go from 5 to 8 because I want to break this down bit by bit. From 5 to 8. Notice what it says. And say unto them, thus saith the Most High Yahweh, in the day when I chose Yasha'al and lifted up mine hand unto the seed of the house of Yaakov, and made myself known unto them in the land of Mizraim, when I lifted up mine hand unto them, saying, I am, or Yahweh, Ahaya, Yahweh, your Most High. Ahaya, Yahweh, your Most High. Yahweh, I am Yahweh. I am Yahweh, your most high. Praise the most high Yah. In that day when I lifted up my hand unto them to bring them forth of the land of Mizraim into a land that I had espied for them, flowing with milk and honey, which is the glory of all lands. Then said I unto them, cast ye away every man the abominations of his eyes, and defile, watch this, and defile not yourselves with the idols of Egypt. I am Yahweh, your most high. But they rebelled against me and would not hearken unto me. But they did not every man cast away the abominations of their eyes, neither did they forsake the idols of Egypt. Then I said, I will pour out my fury upon them to accomplish my anger against them in the midst of the land of Egypt. Wait, this before they even left Egypt. They were still in there. And he sent Moses to tell them, look, stop worshiping the gods of the Egyptians. Stop worshiping the gods that Pharaoh worships. This is not your God. I am the one that led your fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You are their seed. These gods are not your gods. I am your God, he's trying to tell them. He said, but they rebelled against him, would not hearken, even in the land of Egypt. Would not hearken. And he decided, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pour out my fury upon them in the midst of Egypt. While they're in there, I'm going to fix them. I'm going to spank them in Egypt. Wait a minute. I want you to notice something. The first three, there were 10 plagues that hit the land of Egypt at that time. The first three hit everybody, including the Egyptians, including the Israelites. It was after that first three that they woke up, and then the Most High said, now I'm going to separate the land of Goshen from the rest of Egypt. I'm going to cause these plagues to just hit Egyptians. I'm going to stop from hitting Israelites. Why? Because what we just read right here. He's trying to wake them up, but they clinging to Egyptian lifestyle. They clinging to Egyptian culture. They clinging to Egyptian gods. And he's like, okay, I got to fix y'all. I got to show y'all. I got to spank y'all a little bit so that you understand that I mean business. I'm not playing around. So the first three plagues hits everybody. The first three plagues hits everybody. Then they woke up. Then they said, oh. Wait, let's worship. Let's get back to where we're supposed to be. He ain't playing. And then from the last 7 plagues only hit the Egyptians. And I want you to also notice that in the book of Revelation, it says very plainly, let's take a look very quickly in the book of Revelation, chapter 15. In the book of Revelation, chapter 15. And I'm going to start at verse, I'm going to start at verse 5, Revelation chapter 15. From verse 5, I'm going to read down to Revelation 16 and verse 1. Notice what it says. And after that I looked, and behold, the temple of the tabernacle of the testimony in heaven was open. And 7 angels came out of the temple, having the 7 plagues, clothed in pure and white linen, having their breasts girded with golden girdles. And one of the 4 beasts gave unto the 7 angels 7 golden vials, full of the wrath of Yahweh, who liveth forever and ever. And the temple was filled with smoke from the glory of Yahweh, and from his power. And no man was able to enter the temple till the 7 plagues of the 7 angels were fulfilled. And I heard a great voice out of the temple saying, to the 7 angels, go your way and pour out the vials of the wrath of Yahweh upon the earth. See? So these 7 are the 7 last plagues that are upon planet Earth. The 7 last plagues in Egypt only hit the Egyptians. The 7 last plagues on planet Earth are only going to hit the heathen. They're not going to hit the Israelites. They're only going to hit the heathen. Okay? The 7 last plagues. The Most High is going to provide for the Israelites like he did in Egypt in the 7 last plagues. Okay? You following me? Testing 1, 2, 3. So he's going, these 7, there were 10 plagues that hit Egypt. The first 3 hit everybody. The 7 last ones only hit Egyptians. And why? Because they were acting like they were still like Egyptians. See, brothers and sisters, you know, in this country, the United States, or in the UK, or wherever you are, in Europe, Canada, wherever you are, in these nations where the sons of Yafet dominate, and it's their base of operations for dominating the earth. The sons of Yafet dominate in Russia, in Europe, in Canada, in Japan, right, in Australia, U.S. And they have the G8, which tells you this is where their bases are, right? The sons of Yafet. They dominate the whole earth from these areas, right? And you get caught up in this system and you think you one of them. You start thinking you one of them. Well, you might be even excused for thinking you one of them, because we've been here for quite a while. We've been in these enemies' lands for quite a while, though we've been suffering in these lands as the Most High's chosen people. We've been suffering in these lands, but we've been in these lands quite a while. So you might begin to think that you one of these chosen people. You one of these people. But now the awakening has begun, and He's raising up His messengers like myself to let the people know, no, you're not one of these people. No, you are the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. No, this is not your land. Yes, He's going to deliver you to your land. And it's starting to catch on a small level, on a worldwide basis, around the nation of the children of Israel, the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. It's going to become stronger, though. It's going to become stronger. And then you're going to have people of the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Listen carefully. They're going to fight the hardest against the messengers. Yes, they're going to fight the hardest. They're going to be the ones that are going to be the foremost in helping the government try to destroy us, our own people. That's what's going to happen, brothers and sisters. And you'll know them by their fruits. You'll know them by their fruits. That's what the Messiah taught us. By the fruits, you'll know them. What fruits? Very simple, brothers. We've been telling you all along. If they start asking you for money, back up. If they start having to want to make you disciples of them, back up. If they're not pointing you to the Word and to the Father alone, back up. If they're trying to get you to join a camp or a group and say that we're going to make a church, back up. By their fruits, you shall know them. You're not worshiping like Egyptians. You're not worshiping like Egyptians then, and now you're not worshiping like Egyptians now, which means Christianity, which means Islam, which means Buddhism, which means Judaism. You're not worshiping in none of the man-made son of Yafet religions when you're an Israelite. Testing 1, 2, 3. Are you following me? Testing 1, 2. You're not worshiping. And not only that, them camps are 501c3. Did you know that? Them camps are 501c3. Them camps are 501c3. And you know under what guise they got their 501c3 status? They got their 501c3 status by declaring themselves Muslims. That's the truth about it. These camps that you see, the major camps that you see that are calling themselves Israelites, they are 501c3, and with the government, they are classified as Muslims. Isn't that amazing? So, brothers and sisters, I want to tell you something. Don't get caught up in none of these groups. I know you're used to worshiping in Christianity, where you're used to worshiping in groups, and you think you need a group to be with to cause you to be strong. The Most High wants you to lean on His Spirit, on His Word, and a few of us that are around, let us encourage each other, because it's not going to be a lot of them. You understand? There's just not, brothers and sisters. It's not. Okay? Not going to be a lot of us. Only 1/3 of us are going to make it. Only 1/6 of them is going to make it. Only 1/3 of us and 1/6 of them. And that's where we at right now. This is the situation. So He said to them, to the Israelites, cast away your abominations of Egypt. Well, we saying the same thing. There's no white Jesus. Quit looking. Quit wearing crosses around your neck. Quit putting crosses, tattooing them on yourself, messing yourself up. Don't worship in these buildings with these denominations. Don't cast away these idols. Never mind Christmas and Easter and Halloween. Cast away these idols. Okay? He said He's going to bring us to a land, to a kingdom that's going to be forever. It's going to be forever and ever. I have not seen nor ear heard, never have entered into the mind of man the things which the Most High have prepared for them that trust in Him. He has a nation for us. He's going to make this earth over. We're going to take it over. Praise the Most High, Yah. You understand? Let's continue. Ezekiel chapter 20. from verse 9, from verse 9 down to verse 12, from verse 9 down to verse 12. But I wrought for my name's sake that it should not be polluted before the heathen among whom they were, in whose sight I made myself known unto them, in bringing them forth out of the land of Egypt. Wherefore I caused them to go forth out of the land of Egypt and brought them into the wilderness. And I gave them my statutes and showed them my judgment, which if a man do, he shall even live in them. Moreover, also I gave them my Sabbaths to be a sign between me and them, that they might know that I am Yahweh that does sanctify them. Yes, brothers and sisters, he gave us the Sabbath. Okay, see, he showed them the Sabbath for them to rest. He shows us the Sabbath. Why? Because we used to doing what we want to do on Saturday. They gave us Saturday, right? We're used to going to church on Sunday, and then when you go to church on Saturday, you go to a SDA church or some denomination. He's trying to break you out of that system, to break you out of that mold, to follow his spirit. Follow his spirit, brothers and sisters. I know it sounds simplistic, but it is true. The Father's Spirit through the Messiah will guide your steps in the way you should go. He will not leave you nor forsake you. He will guide you in the way you should go. He promised it, and he will do it. You say, how do you keep the Sabbath? Look, just study the word and ask your Father. He will show you. One thing I do know, it starts at sunset on Friday night and ends at sunset on Saturday night. That we do know. That we do know. Now, there are certain things, let me be clear, there's certain things that even Israelites had to do on the Sabbath. For example, if somebody was sick on the Sabbath, they had to be tended to, right? So, if you work in a place where you deal with sick people or elderly people, they still need your help on the Sabbath. That's no problem. You understand what I'm saying? You still have to have protection on the Sabbath. Somebody come and point a gun at your head on the Sabbath, you're going to want a police officer there to help you, right? So police need to be operating on the Sabbath. It's a necessary thing. You got certain things like that. You hear what I'm saying? Now, if your power goes out on the Sabbath and it's below zero outside, I'm quite sure you want the men out there working to fix them wires and restore your power. Am I telling the truth or am I not? You see what I'm saying? So there's certain things you got to be done on the Sabbath. There's certain position. But if you just counting money or you just pushing paper or you just doing pen and paper, whatever, that ain't got to be done on the Sabbath. You understand? You know the difference. Let the Spirit of your Father guide you. You hear what I'm saying? Testing 1, 2, 3. You hear what I'm saying? Let the Spirit of your Father. Let him guide you in the way you should go. He will not leave you nor forsake you. He will not lead you wrong. He's going to guide you in the way. So that's the same thing, but it's the awakening of the Sabbath that caused the ancient Israelites, our fathers in Egypt, to first awaken. He awakened them by the Sabbath. He said, I gave them my Sabbath, a sign between me and them, that they might know that I'm Yahweh. That's sanctified. The word sanctify in this verse 12, the word sanctify is the same word as holy. It's the same word as set apart. It's Kadash. It's the same. Set apart, sanctify. So I set y'all apart because I gave you my Sabbath. That's what the Creator is saying. I gave you my Sabbath. I set you apart from everybody else. It's a sign between me and you, me and my people Israel. See, you can't pay attention to the Judaism people that say they're keeping the Sabbath. They don't know what they're doing. Don't think they know what they're doing. They have no idea what they're doing. Don't let them try to teach you how to keep no Sabbath. They don't know what they're doing. I'm trying to tell you. Seventh-day Adventists don't know what they're doing. Them Gentiles. Don't ever think that Gentiles going to know what you're supposed to know. No, they not. Let the Spirit of the Father guide you in the way you should go, brothers and sisters. Let the Israelites, let the Hebrews guide you in the way you're supposed to go. All right? Praise the Most High Yah. So he gave the Sabbath to his people, to be a sign between him and them. Praise the Most High Yah. He gave the Sabbath to his people, to be a sign between him and them. Right? Verse 13. But the house of Yasha'al rebelled against me in the wilderness. They walked not in my statutes. They despised my judgments, which if a man do, he shall even live in them. And my Sabbaths they greatly polluted. Then I said I would pour out my fury upon them in the wilderness to consume them. He started to consume them in Egypt. Brought them out of Egypt. In the wilderness, they started acting the fool. He was going to consume them in Egypt as well, and in the wilderness as well. But then verse 14, but I wrought for my name's sake that it should not be polluted before the heathen in whose sight I brought them out. See, now you know why he's having mercy on us. He has already told us. Because of the promise to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and because of the heathen round about us. See, he's not going to let the heathen think the heathen think they're getting over. They think they got us under total control. They done herded us into these ghettos. They done flooded our neighborhoods with heroin and crack cocaine and guns. They let us kill each other. They done filled the jail cells with us. They think they got us pretty well under control, right? But they still scared. And the Most High says, you know what? Because they think they so smug, I'm a free you from them. I'm going to deliver you. And because of my promise to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So he's going to have his chosen people be delivered from these lands. It's going to happen. He's going to bring forth his 144,000. They're going to bring forth his message with power that has not been seen since the apostles walked the earth. There's going to be a power of his spirit on the 144,000 all over the lands of the earth. And they're going to know who the true Israelites are. They're going to know the truth of the message. And it's not going to be because we have money. We're not going to have any money. We're not going to have any fancy planes and all of that stuff. He's going to make this message known on the street level, and the people, it's going to come with power. And the people are going to know what it is when it comes, just like they knew what it was when Moses brought it. It's going to be the same thing. Just like they knew what it was when the 12 apostles brought it. They said these are unlearned and ignorant men, yet they knew they were with them. They had been with the Messiah. It's going to be the same thing. It's going to come with that power because his word is not going to return void. He's going to show these heathen who he really is. He's going to show the heathen who he really is and who his people are. We saw this last night when we looked at Ezekiel, that he said he's going to explain to the heathen, I only let my people come into your control because they rebelled against me, because they sinned against me. But now I'm turning my people back and I'm putting my spirit on them. See? Praise the Most High Yah. Praise the Most High Yah. Y'all catching that? I'm going to stop here at verse 14. We're going to continue this next week because chapter 20 is deep and I don't want to rush through it. And it's pretty large also. So let's stop here and let's